There's three reasons compliance is critical for the large, medium, or indeed the small organization, particularly as it relates to contingent workers. One, reputational risk. The company's reputational risk is significant and huge. There was a study produced by Deloitte some years ago that linked company stock prices and poorly performing stock prices with reputational risk events. So when you get it wrong, it can really cost your brand money and in the marketplace. So reputational risk is huge. You want to be a company that does the right thing, that treats workers fairly and looks after them in accordance with local laws and regulations. The second reason is financial risk. So most of our audience will appreciate that IR35 has been in the UK headlines a lot over the last 3 years. But if you've got it willfully wrong, i.e. you've decided not to follow the legislation, the fine regime is off the charts. There's been roughly £1 billion UK in fines levied against public sector organisations in the UK. And just a note of warning and a note of caution for those companies operating in the private sector, particularly the larger ones. HMRC is coming and they're already launching investigations and audit for large private sector engagers or employers of talent. So financial risk, if you get it wrong, you could face significant fines and penalties. No one wants that. 3, legal risk. And of course, that can often be linked to financial risk. But in certain jurisdictions, there's things like tax chain liability. So if contractors aren't set up correctly, they've got the incorrect engagement structures, they haven't been tax compliant, they've been willful and reckless, then in certain countries, the tax authorities can leapfrog the worker and they can go direct to the end user. We're not just talking about monetary fines. We're also talking about criminal and civil liabilities in the courts, right? Some of which can lead to jail sentences. And in certain jurisdictions, not only are the tax authorities quite aggressive, but they will physically come to your premises and do things like search it, and they'll put it on TV, which is never good. And that links back to that reputational risk. So really, if I could distill it to 3 things: 1, reputational risk you could suffer; 2, financial risk; and 3, legal or tax risk, which no organization wants. And that's where we can really help, because we design, implement and support programs for large enterprises to reduce, mitigate those risks around engaging contingent workers, whether it's the UK, whether it's Italy, whether it's USA, Canada, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, the list goes on. And we support around 130 markets or countries around the globe, really ensuring that we know your contractor, the contractor or worker that you find, that we put he or she or they through an appropriate vetting and compliance regime to ensure that you and your organization does not fall foul of any reputational, financial or legal and or tax risk.